against the fight. Corruption that's so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, our philosophy. Good governance is what we've had to give. We say no more big bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rocking with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rockin' with the Alliance Party for Progress. We exist for your best children. We voting for APP. Who we voting for? 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 APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. Yes, we believe, so we unite. Together hand in hand we stand up against the fight. Corruption that so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, our philosophy. Good governance is what we've had to give. We say no more big bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rockin' with we know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rockin' with the Alliance Party for Progress. We exist for your best children. We voting for APP. Who we voting for? 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 APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. Yes, we believe, so we unite. Together hand in hand we stand up against the fight. Corruption that so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, our philosophy. Good governance is what we've had to give. We say no more big bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. with Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voted for APP. We voted for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rocking with APP. The Alliance Party for Progress. We exist for your best children. We voted for APP. Who we voted for? 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 APP. We rocking with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voted for APP. Yes, we believe, so we unite. Together hand in hand we stand against the fight. Corruption that so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, with the APP. We voting the APP with Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rockin' with the AP. The Alliance Party for progress. We exist for your best children. We voted for APP. Who we voted for? 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 APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP with Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voted for APP. Yes, we believe, so we unite. Together hand in hand we stand up, yes, to fight corruption that so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, our philosophy. Good governance is what we've had to give. We say no more big bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP with Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rockin' with the APP. The Alliance Party for progress. We exist for your best children. We voted for APP. Who we voted for? 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 APP. bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rockin' with the Alliance Party for Progress. We exist for your best children. We voting for APP. Who we voting for? 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 APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. Yes, we believe, so we unite. Together hand in hand we stand up, yes, to fight corruption that so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, our philosophy. Good governance is what we've got to give. We say no more big bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rockin' with the Alliance Party for Progress. We exist for your best children. We voting for APP. Who we voting for? 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 APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. Yes, we believe, so we unite. Together hand in hand we stand up, yes, to fight corruption that so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, our philosophy. Good governance is what we've got to give. We say no more big bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rockin' with the APP. We voting the APP. With Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. The heads not down in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. rocking with the APP. We voting the APP with Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. Yes, we believe, so we unite. Together, hand in hand, we stand up, yes, to fight corruption that so denies every nation from their fair and equal rights. Integrity, our philosophy. Good governance is what we've got to give. We say no more big bad wolf parties. It's time for change, so vote the APP. We rocking with the APP. We voting the APP with Bishop Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. We voting for what we know. We know most of them got to go. He has not long in the sand. We know Atherley is the man. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. No more one party politics. No more big shots and no more tricks. We rocking with the APP. The Alliance Party for Progress. We exist for your blessing. Joseph Atherley. We voting for APP. Who we voting for? APP. Who we voting for? APP. Who we voting for?
Who went through Bel Air? Who went through St. Helens? And ask your opinion of becoming Barbados becoming a republic. Who did that? Who went through Market Hill Cottage, Bel Air, St. Helens, Rhodes Village, Jericho, St. Vale? Who went through and asked your view of getting funded from the Chinese Communist Party? Who did? And yet every 5 years, somebody comes to you to ask you for their vote because they put in a bus service that was not running before, because they paved roads that were unpaved before, put in water that they did not have in before, and install electricity. Let me advise and inform you tonight that those are the job of a government, and they do not have the right to ask you for your vote for doing their job. You pay them a salary every month in the House of Assembly to do their job. That is what we do. All right. This is our leader arriving. Bishop Atherley. I want to ask you, please, make sure you wear masks tonight. We're not inviting you to come up here with us because we want to follow our COVID-19 unit protocols. My song engineers have enough sound to reach all the way to St. Lucie. So there's no need for you to expose yourself at risk. So please make sure you keep yourself safe and respect the protocols that we have seen violated in this campaign by the very said government itself. 2 nights ago, I sat down watching a video on YouTube of the launch of their manifesto in 6 roads. And I was a Labour Party man. Everybody down here knows I was a Labour Party man. There's a man down in Market Hill that doesn't know that we were Labour Party people. But when you begin to deviate from the fundamental philosophies of our party and from the fundamental protection of the values of our country, you deviate from my support. When you begin to introduce elements in Barbados that do not reflect the base aspect and morals of our nation, you come down on the wrong side of this gentleman. And I have chosen to support those who stand for the freedoms and the rights and the values of our country, values of family and faith, values of gender. It is amazing to me when people tell you they want to follow the science. And this entire pandemic, we have heard they want to follow the science. But when it comes to gender, there are only 2 chromosomes, X and Y. Why don't you want to follow the science then? You can't choose which science you want to follow. Science in science. And I will have some more to say about that. But I'm here to tell you tonight that a government is supposed to do a job and should not be credited with your vote because they do their job any more than a father receives a medal or a cup for being a father and raising his children. That's his responsibility. So don't come to me and tell me nonsense that because you fix the road and put in a bus service and you put in electricity and water, that you deserve my vote. That's your job. Now, if you come to me and you offer to me opportunities, a framework that I can advance myself, improve my law, and improve my status, then maybe I can give consideration to your request. This election is about having real discussion with members of parliament and candidates. And as the Alliance Party for Progress, we commit ourselves to having a dialogue with the people in every constituency in this country. We commit ourselves to a new form of governance. And I want to suggest something to you tonight in this community. I want to suggest to you that one of the elements I would like to see introduced into St. George North is a network of community nodules where you select a leader in your community. That leader, together with yourself, who best knows the concerns of your community, will bring those concerns to our constituency office to be vetted and to be prioritized, so that you don't have to catch a bus from Market Hill to go to Bridgetown and then catch one and come back up to some of the part of St. George North. But that there are people who represent you in your community that you can talk to. Apolitical, whether they're B, P, A, X, Y, or Z, because those aspects do not matter when we are dealing with the concerns of a constituency. To this end, the Alliance Party for Progress commits itself in ensuring that every single one of our parliamentary representatives who form the government are going to be required to have regular dialogue with their constituency members. But tonight, our political leader has arrived. A man that I have known for many years. An individual that I have always found a man of integrity and honesty. A man that was committed to the Barbados Labour Party. But a man who did something that a leader in this country suggested we need to do in this election. And that was he asked for discernment. And he saw things that you could not see with the natural eye. And you all would want to ask me what is that? Well, let me give you an example. Have you ever had a gut feeling that you were supposed to do something, but you did it, and when you can't do it, you find yourself in trouble, and something tells you, I know I should not have done that. That's what you call discernment. Or as the ladies would put it, feminine intuition. Where your mother tells you, I don't like the people you hang with. But mommy, why not? I don't know. I just don't like it. Something inside of me tells me don't hang with them. So we ignore mommy and we go along with them. The next thing we end up in a police station, make a whole bunch of them. And when you get back home, your mother looks at you and tells you, I told you so. I couldn't put my thing all up, but I told you. And we have been told by one of our leaders in this country that when it comes to tomorrow, we are to pray for discernment. I don't know who that individual needs to pray to. Because a few weeks ago, I watched a video with that individual in describing God, talked about Allah, God, or whatever you want to call him or her. That is a disingenuous and insulting statement to the majority of people in this country who are Christian faith-based persons. I was stolen throw away from one of the churches in this country, it's in Augustine's, and I would want to know if the precincts in Augustine would tolerate that from that individual. And this is what our country has come to. These are serious matters for the away at the very fabric and foundation of our country. And that is why I say to you tonight that our country is at a cross. Last night, and I invited and if he would be kind enough to join us tonight here at Market Hill. And he has consented to do so. So without any further ado, I want to invite Bishop Joseph Anthony to come to the microphone and address you, the constituents of St. George North, and the members of this community. Hallelujah. Good night, St. George North, good night, Market Hill, and surrounding areas. So pleased to be able to be in a position to speak to you tonight and to come into the privacy of your homes and to come into this public space and to offer some words of encouragement to you as you face the stresses of life, recognizing that the God of heaven is the God over this land, notwithstanding what anybody else says. The God of heaven is the God in this land. And we praise him tonight. We exalt him tonight. And we come by his spirit and under his anointing to share with you some truths of importance in the lives of young people. You know, St. George North is a very critical constituency. They all are very critical. And one of the things that is special about St. George North is the significance about St. George North. And we must not miss these very critical and significant dynamics. Barbados has prided itself over the last several decades to being a democracy, a constitutional democracy operating in a context where people have freedom of speech, and freedom of association. And one of the contexts within which we practice the freedom of association is with respect to the formation of trade unions in Barbados. And we've had a trade union in Barbados because of the champion of the cause of the workers ever since. And in fact, the Barbadians are the best of workers and workers. The Barbadians Workers Union has been led of people of renown. Hey, we have Bill Frank Walker, who is now one of our national heroes. We have Bill Roy Trotman, who we have conferred one of our highest honors. And we are accustomed to the fact that the Barbados Workers Union plays a significant role in the development and furtherance in the maturation of our democracy and in the improvement of the social and socio-economic well-being of our people. Now, unionization is a very important thing. One of the big problems I have in successive Barbados governments is that they have failed often, failed very frequently, to impress upon investors who come from abroad, who set up business here in Barbados, that we believe in the practice of unionization and the people free to form associations which are legitimate and lawful, and a trade union as well. People with deep pockets, people with wealth and capital and finance from abroad have come to this country to love and oppress our workers. It's just because we have to take the investment dollars, we cannot suggest to them in very strong terms that you need to allow for workers on your job sites, workers of your companies, notwithstanding the volume of your investment, you cannot stop workers organized and being organized. But the practice continues, almost totally unabated, and governments have sat idly by and allow foreign companies to exploit workers in Barbados. The APP is substitute. The Alliance Party for Progress is substitute. Now, this is one of the ugly features of Barbados life, of Barbados industry that we have to check and we have to stop. Workers must be allowed to unionize. Now, the government understands the importance of capital, and the government understands the importance of labor, and the government understands that a government worker is told if it has any integrity attaching to the cause it seeks to preserve, government must be a part of an arrangement whereby capital and labor and the state can get together and so that we can create an environment in which businesses can prosper. But also in that environment, labor, the workers must be able to benefit and to prosper, and they are not continuing to improve. That's what about Barbados. We have seen over the last decades the practice of a consultation process and a context under a banner called social practice. And it brings together the state, it brings together capital, it brings together labor. For the cause of betterment of each of those groups, but for the cause of growth and development in the Barbados economy and its socio-economic context, especially with efforts to better the life and the quality of life of the workers' savers. If the young lady who represents in Doris North, or who did under the Parliament of the elected in 2019 workers, 2020, 2020, to serve your interests, elected by your choice. I am of the view that part of the strategy of this government, in order to keep a lid on the struggle of labor, in order to silence that rising sound of the impulse of labor in Barbados, I am of the view that this government has embarked upon the deliberate strategy to try to mute the voice of labor in Barbados. And it has done that by developing a close personal relationship and a close political relationship with those who constitute the leadership of the labor movement in Barbados. They've done it with respect to the National Union of Public Workers. They've done it with respect to the Barbados Workers Union. It is only Caswell Franklin. It is only Caswell Franklin, a senator appointed by myself to the upper house of the Parliament of Barbados, that has stood loudly, persistently, forcefully representing the cause of the interests of the people in this country. Other labor leaders, I humbly suggest, have not been sufficiently robust. I am not here to suggest that they were bought. I have not indulged in that kind of stupid, silly, unverified attack. I don't stand here to say they were bought. I simply say that this government has made it part of its strategy to develop a relationship with the leadership of the Barbados Workers Union and the leadership of the National Union of Public Workers, so that it may put a lid upon the struggle of labor in Barbados. And that is not a good thing. In political terms, they say you have jacketed the struggle. You have diluted their efforts. You have diluted the force of their voice. You have now created a state in Barbados where the voice and the efforts and the energies of the labor movement have been diluted and weakened in the interest of facilitating private capital. That is a fact. You have also done that in the interest of protecting your own political interests, because a lot of the people in Barbados are employed by the state in the public sector. And it seems to me that it is government's intention to make sure that the public sector and make sure that labor worldwide in Barbados is not allowed to raise its voice and to make out voices and to challenge government on its policy positions and to stand up in the face of the private sector and say, no, that can't happen. That is not in the interest of labor. It may be in the interest of private capital, but it's not in the interest of labor. And so I say to you tonight, you have an issue to deal with in St. George North, because some of you are public sector workers, some of you work in the private sector. And I do not know what kind of exploitation and what kind of labor stress that you have placed on the foundation in your job. But this, I say, unionization is important. The development of unions in Barbados, the development of political parties in Barbados actually have been on the same track from the beginning of time. And there's no way that in 2022, political parties should be the entities that constitute towards the effort of silencing the voice of labor, of compromising the voice of labor, of diluting the energy of labor in Barbados. There's no way that should be happening. And so in St. George North, you do have the opportunity to make a difference and to change the course of things in the Parliament of Barbados. You can elect right here a good man, an outstanding man, a family man, a man of learning, a Christian man, a ministering servant of God, a community-minded person, a man for the heart of the people who stands fearlessly and will frankly speak to in this country, not afraid to speak to the power. He's not the kind of man driven by any kind of weak impulse that will cause him to power before power and not say what is on his heart, especially the things that the Lord will lay upon his heart. And the Alliance Party for Progress, and I personally know the country as its leader, would humbly say to you that the best choice in this next election in St. George North on a given day tomorrow is Reverend Dr. Ferdinand Pickles. And I ask you that when you go to the polls, you go there with that resolve in mind. Hello, if there's one thing that I want to change, is this business of the voice of unionization in Barbados, the voice of the labor movement in Barbados being compromised, being diluted, being weakened, being incorporated into the policy projections and the policy posture and the policy platform of any party in the office of government. You have the privilege. What to do tomorrow. What you did not perhaps reflect sufficiently upon in 2020 in the time of the election, and put somebody in parliament who will represent the cause of the workers, the cause of parents, the cause of single mothers, the cause of this community, the cause of rural Barbados. Put somebody in parliament who will stand up and speak loudly for yourself without fear of being made to be silent, without fear of being able to sit at the cower at the feet of power. Ferdinand Pickles is not like that. One of the first things he said to me when he became a part of it, yes, I like to speak frankly, and I like to say exactly what is on my mind, notwithstanding what others might think or say, what opinions might hold, but they might hold. I like to stand and be able to express my views and my opinions respectfully but frankly. And that is the kind of man you want in the Parliament of Barbados. King George North is an agricultural community for a large part, but it has seen significant development in terms of housing stock, in terms of property, the quality of life that some people live. But I would not think tonight that that's the majority of people. That's a minority of people who are living in a circumstance of some success and some privilege. We have seen reflected in St. George Park in terms of some of the residents, in terms of some of the development, especially with respect to housing and infrastructure. We have seen expression of that emergence of a middle class in Barbados. A middle class that has been blessed because this country in the past was able to achieve, especially under the Olafra administration and difficult times. And they started institutionally with the Tom Adams administration. But it really came to a full bloom under the Olafra administration. And we have seen the development of the middle class in certain parts of Barbados. And St. George North is very reflective of that middle class. Some of the biggest houses that I have seen in Barbados are to be found in St. George North. I say that tonight because for those of you who live in that kind of circumstance, God has blessed you and you have advanced in life financially and economically, and you've come into ownership, especially of property. I want to say to you tonight that the very policies of this government reckon your well-being and your exit. We have seen over the last several years, not only in the last years, but in the period of government before that, an erosion of the quality of life, the standard of life among Barbadian people. We have seen that this government has particularly done things that have interfered with the investment, have interfered with the investment of people. This government has adopted policies that has caused some stresses because it has really increased the cost of living for many in Barbados. And the middle class is not exempted from that. It's not exempted from that. We have a banking sector that is almost gone wild and it lives unchecked because it is largely a foreign banking sector. Barbados needs to stand up. Barbados needs to stand up and tighten itself and fasten its pants and put on its shirt and get the job done. We need to deal with the things that are causing stress and challenges to people. The middle class faces a same trajectory now of erosion to the living circumstances. You ask anybody, I have seen really with my own eyes, come face to face with it for myself, where people you thought who were comfortable living in their middle class experience have been reduced to asking for help and handouts because of the policies of this government and its predecessor government. When St. George North votes, then the middle class in St. George North votes. It needs to vote with that in mind, that we have to protect our interests, that we have to protect our welfare, and we can't allow a government especially that's calling for all 30 seats,
We cannot allow a government election tomorrow, whichever party has that privilege to do such things in pursuit of policies that they are detrimental to the well-being of the middle class in Barbados. And it's the middle class of Barbados that gives stability in the country. The working classes are such that the working class tend to look to some middle class models, some middle class personalities to help them with their education, to help them to deal with their stress, to help them to channel their protesting energy. And if the middle class is eroded, Barbados is exposing itself to an eruption of social unrest and social violence. So in the interest of the country, and in the interest of yourself as middle class people in Barbados, wherever you are in St. George Court, you need to vote to protect your well-being. You need to vote to protect this country. Any type of social unrest, any type of social dislocation will affect all of us. And it does not matter how walls your house or structure may be. When the protest starts, when the social upheavals begin, because the lift is blowing, because the pressure has been too much on the working class, it will envelop and consume all of us. When you go to the polls tomorrow, you need to vote with this in mind. The very important thing that the constituents of St. George North must help us to resolve. And that is the future of the middle class is at stake. That is the future of the trade union movement in Barbados is at stake. That means the future of workers in Barbados is at stake. Now this government has done a lot of things to bring a discredit to itself. We gave them 30 seats in 2018. But they've done a lot of things to bring discredit to themselves. They said that they would sample corruption. A large part of their platform was premised on the desire and a need, an imperative to sample corruption in Barbados. They promised integrity in public life legislation. That integrity in public life legislation is yet to be passed. They made an apparent superficial effort to bring it through the Parliament of Barbados. They brought it into the lower house of Barbados. I recognize that there were some deficiencies in the legislation. There were some areas that needed significant improvement. I pointed those things out when that legislation was debated in the lower house, the House of Assembly of Barbados. But I voted for it because I wanted to see integrity in public life legislation passed in Barbados. No legislation is ever perfect. But I wanted to see it passed. I was always of the view, and I said it then, I don't think the government is serious about passing this legislation. And so they let it go to the upper house, the Senate, for ratification, for vote. Now both houses must pass this legislation. And it passed the lower house because there's only one vote against 28 in the lower house. So when it goes to the Senate, there are 2 senators appointed by myself. And there are 7 senators appointed by Her Excellency. And then there are 12 senators appointed under the hand of the Prime Minister. Now, pray tell me, if you want to make sure that this legislation passed, you know that it is at the end of the day going to be 11 voting against 9 if everybody turns up. You want to make sure, if you want this legislation passed, that all of your 11 persons who would have the right of first vote for the president, the government found it possible and contrived that on the day for this vote, the government did not have the numbers to help this legislation to pass in the upper house of Barbados. You cannot be serious. If you take a bill to the Senate and you believe that this bill is critical and important, and you promise the people of Barbados you're going to bring this bill, you can't take it to the Senate. No, you need X amount of people to vote, and you let some of your people stay at home and not come to vote. You can't be serious. You're taking the people of Barbados for a ride. You have gone through the exercise of coming back to the lower house, the House of Assembly. And as recently as November, the government was saying that very early in the new year, we would pass integrity legislation in the Parliament of Barbados. And lo and behold, before we could get to debate it and pass it, the Prime Minister shuts down the Parliament and calls an election. Now that is the kind of government that we have. They think that they can trick and fool people. You can do that once, and that will be shame on you. You try to do it twice, and I allow you to do it, it will shame on me. And now they're walking around. They're paving some roads at this 11.5 hours. In some instances, they're not paving only the roads. What they're doing is just putting a little asphalt in some potholes. This is an attempt to hoodwink Barbados. This is an attempt to try and steal an election which they are losing by the internal polls. And they're not doing anything as here as they anticipated. And so they are in this mad rush to fix the road here, to patch a little pothole there, put garbage cans there. Listen, Barbadians are too educated. We have been fooled by that for too long. We've been fooled by that in 2022. So enjoy the paved roads, but tell them not a single vote for that. And that's the best you can do. And only when you call an election, those are really no vote for that. So this business of in public life legislation has been a farce. You don't want to seriously deal with corruption. You do not want to seriously deal with corruption. The fact of the matter is, it is not only politicians who are involved in corruption. For politicians to practice corruption, there must be people out there. There must be people out there who lay the offerings at their feet, who lay the offerings at their doorstep. So there must be people out there with money who are willing to buy their way or pay their way in Barbados and to pay their way for the service. So if you attack this matter of corruption in a serious way, you can't only deal with politicians. You can have to deal with public service, yes? Or you can have to deal with people in the private sector. The money behind the corruption. The money bags behind the corruption. The money brains behind the corruption. And I don't know that this government appears to be serious about dealing with that. Because to deal with that, you've got to knock off a few of your friends and perhaps knock up a couple of them. But they told us in promise you can get integrity in the public life. Way back in 2017 and 19. Promise it did not deliver it. The night was closed down the parliament before we can get to that. That's one issue. There's something called a vaccine scandal. There's something called a vaccine scandal. The government has not yet fully responded to. Where the government tells us we were looking to secure vaccines for our citizens. And in order to secure vaccines for our citizens, we recruited a private company. Now hear me, this is a private company with no experience in sourcing medical supplies and health-related supplies. This is a private company unknown to us up until that point. And research shows that they have no record in the sourcing of medical or health-related supplies. But the government, on the cover of that, goes to recruit a private company to get vaccines for our. And I don't understand it. Vaccines may have been available at about $3 or $4. But there's an arrangement whereby the government of Barbados is prepared to pay $24 for these vaccines. Now you do the math. You do the math. So that issue does not be properly responded to. Why is that company? Why is that cost? Why is that company and why is that cost? And then it found out that the Minister of Health had no knowledge of the transaction, had no knowledge of the contract, had no knowledge of the going on. How is it that the Minister of Health will not have an understanding and a knowledge of the efforts of his government through his ministry, to understand and to know that they're looking to source vaccines through a private company? Now, questions were asked. Why this company? Why were you willing to pay this price? How come the ministry did not know? How can a permanent secretary and a minister under a minister write a letter to a company talking about vaccines the minister not know? How is it that the cabinet of Barbados cannot know? How is it that the Minister of Health does not know? I have to assume it didn't come about cabinet and therefore the cabinet did not know. Vaccine scam is what I call it. Some people call it vaccine gate, like Watergate. No questions No questions ever are seriously responded to by this government. They deal in a lot of narrative creation. They deal with a lot of prosthetics, a lot of optics. But when they're seriously challenged, they don't want to respond. That is why, although they had 29-1, they want to get more than 29 the Parliament of Barbados. St. George laws by itself can stop them from winning all 30 seats in the Parliament of Barbados. There is an imperative of a duty laid on the people of St. George to say, I have not had the question answered with respect to how that government went about acquiring those vaccines. Why was that government willing to pay so much money for those vaccines? Who on the part of government entered into this transaction with a company not skilled or experienced in sourcing those types of materials? Who did this? Why did the minister not know? Why was he not told? Who instructed the permanent secretary to do what they did? These are questions to be asked. I recognize that the government was not answering. And so in the Parliament of our business, in the month of November, I made what we call a private memory resolution, calling for the date of this matter of vaccine, failed attempts to acquire a vaccine. My resolution made it under the order paper. That is all that happened. It went onto the order paper. The speaker acknowledged it. It's on the order paper. If you look at the last order paper of Parliament, you see that resolution is there. But the government did not choose to debate it. And they are the ones with the power. They are the ones who take the time it is to be debated. But rather than debate that resolution and expose the answers to the Barbadian public, because the Barbadian public has been demanding, they shut down the Parliament. They shut down the Parliament. I said all of us must go home. You may not understand how these things work, but when the Parliament is resolved like this, anything that is on the order paper dies at the dissolution of Parliament. So that will no longer be on the order paper of Parliament when Parliament resumes, whenever that happens. This is the way this government has been operating. You have to use your intellect. You have to be guided by your sense of wisdom. You have to be guided by your own consideration of your own interest and determine whether or not you want to vote back this government. And if you find that you must vote back this government because you like somebody in the government, if you find that you must do that, then certainly you must be told. It is not in your interest, it is not in the interest of Barbados for you to elect them and give them all courtesy. You have to strengthen the hands of the opposition. You have to strengthen the hands of the opposition. You have to increase the numbers of the opposition. If you think that this government is working your interest, that is your view. I respect that. If you think tomorrow you must vote for before it is unfit to receive, then by all means do that. Cases of just to put them all back or to put them there in large numbers. If you are going to vote them back and opposite there in terms of the numbers. What one man has been able to do 13 or 14 others can do multiplied times better. I ask you to go to the poll tomorrow and seriously consider that it is your. You cannot travel the length of Manchester in the election of 2018 and tell people that you care. And then, in the midst of a pandemic, when the pandemic is at its worst, when it is raging all over the place, when we've got various after various, when there are multiple thousands of people in the country, you cannot come, I think visitors, you cannot come and call an election 18 months ahead of its constitutionally due period. Now, when you do that, what are you saying to us? You are saying to us that the people of Barbados don't come first. You are saying that the health and well-being of the St. George Town people who have to go to the polls, those are the constituents who must work in the election tomorrow, those are the constituents who are part of the staff of the electoral department. You're saying to us, you don't care about their well-being, you don't care about exposing them to threat. You're sending 100 odd politicians across the length of this country to knock on people's doors, to interface with elderly people who are very susceptible and vulnerable to this virus. And you called an election a year and a half before it is completed. What could motivate you? What are you afraid of? Were you afraid that there are numbers in your camp who are willing to depart and go through the doors as others have done? Are you afraid of the fact that, or were you afraid of the fact that there are others who in the camp are grumbling, who do not like your style of leadership, who consider it to be a break, who grumble, and they do not grumble in whispered tone. They grumble loudly for others to hear. They may not grumble in your face because they're fearful of you and the power that you're not afraid to weaken. In whose interest? What were you afraid of? What are you hiding? What is to come down to the fight in Barbados in the next couple of months that will make life an added misery for Barbados? What is it the IMF is saying to you that you are going to have to do? And there's a government plan to enter into a second arrangement with the IMF. And if so, should you not tell the people of Barbados before the election is called, but you call it early? You call it early. And if your vote is back, you can go ahead and you can do whatever you want. Hello, government is not supposed to work like that. That is not working in people. That is working to serve the fortunes of your own self and your political party. Barbadians deserve better. Barbadians deserve better. People in Market Hill, people in Rose Village, people in St. Helens, people all over the place, in Rose and College. People deserve better in St. George North. This government is not serving you better. I am disappointed in them because I was a part of them. I knew what a platform was prior to 2018. I am really disappointed as to the things I see and hear coming from them in these days. The people of St. George North, you have your moment to follow, to take a radical change in the course of things, to make a radical difference in the lives of the people of this country by electing a government of credible people, the Alliance Party brings in people of intellect, people of industry, and people of integrity. Reverend Dr. Ferdinand Nichols is one of them. We are proud of the people we have offered to you. We have offered to you people all over this country. Long are no gone, hopefully the days when Barbadians think there's only a D or a D that presents from. There is now an A, an app, APP. Upload that app. Download that app. Whatever you want to do, take that app. Use that app. Help us to correct some of these things. We want to introduce a new model of governance in Barbados that will put greater power in the hands of the people. Make ministers accountable and responsible, and it must be imperative that they must appear before those mechanisms that we will establish. We want to make sure that elections in Barbados do not continue to fall subject to the power of the purse. People who have money can help parties to put on large campaigns, spend all kinds of money, purchase people's votes. We want to put an end to that. We want to see proper election financing. We want to see proper political party financing. We want to know who to the party, because then they will make this party for progress, will change all of that nonsense, so that our democracy becomes much more meaningful than that which we now live under. We want to put our policy structure. Politics must begin from the bosom of the people. It can't begin in the boardrooms of the rich and famous. We don't, as a government, establish a policy and execute a policy because some private sector baron has money that he can give to you or your party or to bail up the government from some situation. So policy must spring from the bosom of the people, and policy must be done to the benefit of the majority of people in Barbados, not just a few and privileged and a certain few living in certain places. And the indulgent place are so elegant and so on. We have to change all of that. It's the right part to change that. I am about that. The next study is about that. Ferdinand Nichols is about that. Everything holiday sisters and George Snow is about that. We are about those things. Give us the chance to work on your behalf, to work in your interest, and to turn things around for Barbados. Help us to give back government to the people. Help us to propel Barbados in a new direction of growth and expansion and development. Some roads decide so around the world every day, tapping hands, begging people for money, and the government gets down. The Prime Minister stands up, literally, and looking and says, "We have now acquired the stone from the source." And the minister of state and the minister of finance will say the same thing. We have acquired the stone. He's dropped the stone. Hello, your stone has to be replaced. And the government is selling this country out to debt. It is all right to borrow. That's two things must apply. When you borrow, you must be able to repay. And that's the borrow. You must put to good productive use so that young people in the country can find employment, so that single mothers who are suffering can have the better payday, so that people who live in poor houses and kitchens can see improvement, so that people who are landless can be brought into property ownership, so that small businesses that are struggling can be made to be benefiting from the generosity of government and the public purse, just like anybody else. Listen, allow for program offers you a good group of men and women. Possess for a strong sense
What
and a desire
person
to
would not
succeed
know
in
the love
Barbados
letter offers that?
and this country pointed
What?
to the Lord.
What government would
We have a
what
partnership
person
for
would not
housing
know?
that will either
That's
estimate
$600,
improve
don't you?
government's ability to provide housing. This government has promised more than once. The Minister of Housing has, Prime Minister has thousands of housing units to support people in that. We don't see them, we don't see them, we don't see them. They can't even get finished the project of fixing and repairing houses damaged in Hurricane Elsa. They said the Prime Minister did. We will do that in 6 months. And I heard that, I said, what a shame. No, they're not said to me, but it's Minister of Housing came in there, contradicted her and said, there's no way that can be done in 6 months. Tonight, perhaps your house is damaged, still on repairs, still on repairs. Stay promise. We have a program, a policy in our manifesto on housing partnership that will bring together the government and home owners for 60 homes. The land will be given to you. The land will be granted to you by the government. Part of the big problem is housing in Barbados is the availability to the ability of and access to land. The land will be given as part of the partnership. You'll be allowed to build a house for the loan that you get from a government bank, a national bank, a loan with a very low interest. Because it's not that window in the bank's operation is not supposed to be profit taking and commercial. It is supposed to be facilitating the expansion of democratic ownership in Barbados, moving people from a position of landlessness to landowners. We have a model of governance which was executed policies in the interest of the people of Barbados and not just complying to the dictates of overseas institutions who every now and then say to us in Parliament and say, you have to do this and you have to do that. One of the things you want to do is a single mothers in Barbados. You're working very hard, earning very little, cost of living grant. A grant that cuts to the base for the cost of living in Barbados. Then you take us to the nurture and rearing of your children. So we can't use the money that we're going to grant to you on top of what you don't get in from welfare or any other source. We're going to give you another $200 per month to help with your children. Can't be spent on meals, can't be spent on care, has to be spent on your children. And there are ways that we can do that. These children are doing need to be taken care of. And you can do it. The harsh conditions on the table will fall subject to our attention as well. We're going to stop this business of unscrupulous men exploiting our women on the workplace, asking for favors. You bet you find sexual favors and you stop. because they know there's so many people out there unemployed that can get anybody to come and work and are fearful that they can do themselves first of all. Yes, stop all of that. They are predators, sexual predators, exploiting our innocent and women in the workplace. Your daughters, I almost said your daughters are mine, and I don't have daughters, but your daughters, when they go to the workplace in Barbados, they're being exposed to it. An alliance government will firm up the legislation that will deal with dirty fellows like that. Will deal with dirty fellows like that. Look at the fellows who aren't locking up. Not the fellow down the road who can't pay child support, and he doesn't pay child support because he doesn't have a job. We're going to stop that foolishness. If a man is looking for a job, but he can't find a job, he can't lock up the man for child support, we will stop that. Now, if you have a job and you can't pay, and you don't pay, maybe I'll put a lash or two on you in some way or the other. And if you don't have a job, you can't get one. You don't fall to the earth. For lack of pay, then you can't look. That foolishness has to stop in 2022. You want somebody to lock up and get space in jail? Look for the Richard James who are dealing in corruption, who are dealing with drugs, who are bringing guns into this country, and lock up some of them. And Alliance Parties for Progress will, through law and order and judicial measures, go after those who are bringing guns into this country, who are facilitating the gun trade in this country, who are facilitating the drug trade in this country, and hiding behind the shadows of their fortress gates. And Alliance Party will deal with that. Put the Barbados Police Force and put the Barbados judicial system in a position to deal with that. If we have space in our jails, we will fill it with them, not with poor black boys, not with poor black boys. My friends, tonight, I ask you again. I really wish I could stay here all night to talk. There's so much. What I have to do tonight is I have to win a seat there. I have to win a seat there. Somebody has to win a seat there, wanting to come. Here this platform with me. And I ask you, hello, St. George Cross can make a difference. St. George Cross can make a difference. Take the yoke of compromise off unions in Barbados that is supposed to fully, forcefully, and properly represent labor. By releasing this force from her commitments to the government, let her serve the Barbados with resilience with all of her energy and with full heart in your interest. And the leadership of the NDP help them by making a change to understand that people of Barbados will not settle for this compromise. We want a difference. We want a government that respects the people. Not that we wake up one day and say we're going to become a republic. Not that we wake up one day and talk to get in the middle of the pandemic. We don't want that. Lord knows what we wake up and say. Work 39 nickels. The Reverend Dr. 39 nickels. In the George Moore. Support the lunch party. Work in the interest of Barbados. Good night to you and God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from the mouth of the leader of the Alliance Party for Progress, Bishop Joseph Bagley. We want to thank you for giving us the last few moments to be able to share with you the policies, the perspectives, the programs, the outlook, the perspectives, the views, the ideas of the APP. We want to thank you for taking the time tonight to allow us to come into your homes and while you remain safe, to let you know what we are going to be doing on your behalf in the House of Assembly when you place us in there as the government of Barbados and when you place me there as your parliamentary representative. I want to encourage you tomorrow morning, please go out early. The polls open at 6 o'clock. Make sure you're traveling with your ID card. They close at 6 o'clock. Don't take a chance. Make sure that you go out early in the morning and vote. And I will emphatically get you for your vote tomorrow morning, tomorrow all day. Encourage your friends, encourage your family to vote for the APP, vote for change, vote for integrity. Vote for transparency. Vote for Ferdinand Nichols. Good night, Barbados.